Two deadly shootings within moments of each other in central Arkansas. We continue our developing news coverage. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Bob Clausen.
And I'm Ashley Ketz. We begin with KARK4 Shannon Miller. She is live now on South Fillmore Street in Little Rock, where one person was fatally shot, another injured. And Shannon, what do we know about the victim?
At this point, Ashley, those details are still being kept to police, but you can see that police are still taking a look at this house and through this house where they say this fatal shooting happened here. They first got that call around 3:45 this morning. The victim's still inside the house right now as officers continue to investigate this shooting. One woman taken from the scene here with a gunshot wound to the arm. She is expected to live. Now, no word yet on what started the argument inside this home or if the victim and the suspects knew each other, but police still searching for the two suspects responsible for this shooting at this hour. Again, still looking through that house where that victim is at this hour. Also, KRK's Leah Uko joining us now live from the 1900 block of East Capitol where that second shooting happened. And Bob, that is obviously another investigation that police are working at this hour.
That's right. You know, there are a lot of moving parts of both of these investigations, so naturally we're going to keep you updated on both of them. We'll have more later on this newscast and, of course, later on KRK4 News at 10 o'clock. A Conway private school taking steps to protect students in an active shooter situation there. It's every parent, you could say, nightmare. Because safety matters, KRK4's Drew Petrimo looking into why the investment could be a lifesaver. Drew?
Well, Bob, it's really not a complicated product. The purpose is to keep the teachers and students in their classroom and the bad guys out.
Can you hear it? Is it? Okay, click on that again.
Lisa Gray's been teaching kindergarten at Conway Christian School for 19 years. She says the safety of her students is priority number one.
You would put your life out there for them because that's how much they mean to you?
Easy as that.
That is the latest investment the school's made to protect children in case of an active shooter situation. It's called You Lock It, a steel device securing a door to its frame. Video posted on the company's website shows a prototype withstanding kicks and multiple gunshots.
You've got to consider it. You've got to think about that these days, and it's a shame that that's the case, but we do.
School President Richard Henley says it could buy students and teachers precious time for police to show up.
If a bad guy's out there trying to get in, he's going to break this glass real quickly. And if it's just this one lock, I mean, you reach in and you're done. Door's open.
But the device takes two hands to unlock. Conway Christian raised $7,500 to buy 56 locks for the school of about 460 kids. Mindy Cochran is a teacher and also has two children at the school.
It's important as a parent to feel like we're sending our kids to a place that is safe.
I first go to the window and close the blinds.
Lisa Gray already has a plan in place if the nightmare becomes reality. Now she has one more tool to keep her kindergartners safe.
I think any teacher would do anything that was necessary to protect their kids.
You Lock It is a Faulkner County-based startup that counts State Senator Jason Rapert among its financial backers. The product would have been a violation of fire code until a legislative change made during the last session, despite opposition from the state fire marshal. Ashley?
Drew, thanks very much. A victory for the prosecution in a high-profile murder case in Little Rock.
Have anything to say about how you feel like the case is going?
No, sir, no comment.
And that is our Drew Petrimo there talking to Daryl Dennis, leaving the courtroom after a judge ruled some of a transcript from a witness that passed away can be used in the coming trial. Now, in a previous hearing, the witnesses put Dennis with 18-year-old Forrest Abrams the night he was murdered 2 years ago. Dennis was released from jail a day prior to the alleged killing, and the case sparked changes to the state's parole system. Dennis is set to go to trial next month.
New information, a child pornography investigation out of Conway. According to the Faulkner County prosecutor, former University of Central Arkansas professor Noel Campbell is facing additional child pornography charges. The prosecutor's office says Campbell's home computer turned up an additional 250 images, which brings the total amount to 310 counts of distributing or possessing sexually explicit conduct involving a child.
A collision between a car and a school bus sends 3 people to the hospital. It happened early this morning on Cooper Orbit Road, just off of Canis in West Little Rock there. Now, the child in the car did suffer what we're told are critical head injuries. Here is a look at the crash. The bus driver, though, okay. The two kids that were on that school bus, we can tell you, were not hurt in the wreck.
Because money matters, the Beebe Volunteer Fire Department suing White County officials for tax money it says it never received. As KARK-TV's Stephanie Schrupp explains, the money owned several $1,000s over many years. Steph, where's it at?
That's exactly right, Bob. Now, those listed in the suit, the White County District Judge, Treasurer, and all of the quorum court members. Now, the fire department says there is a sales tax where part of the money goes to volunteer fire departments in White County. 27 different departments split that money, and Beebe Volunteer Fire Department says it deserves a piece too.
Stacy Caffel and her son, thankful they live down the street from the Beebe Volunteer Fire Department.
We go inside in the house and we'll hear sirens off and on all day.
And she says in a time of emergency,
she seizured and quit breathing.
The department saved her niece's life.
That was a very, very scary moment.
But now the department is wanting money it says it deserves. And people in the community want the department to get that money too.
They need to use it to where it will better the city.
In a lawsuit, the department says there is a county sales tax. 5% of that tax goes to volunteer fire departments.
They deserve it. They need to put it in the fire department where it belongs.
But the department says it has not seen any of that money. In the suit filed, the Beebe Fire Department claims in 2013 it should have received $8,800 in tax money. If you include the 4 years prior to that, the suit estimates the total amount would be approximately $45,000. Money this volunteer station and the community says it needs.
I think they should get tax money. They help us out when we need it.
There's definitely some issues that need to be solved and need to be looked at.
The Beebe Volunteer Fire Department and the Beebe City Attorney refused to comment on this lawsuit. The White County officials listed in the suit have yet to respond. Now, the Beebe Volunteer Fire Department is asking for that money to come out of the White County General Fund.
Stephanie, thanks. Pine Bluff authorities are learning more about a building that caught fire last night. A source tells us the two lawyers were in the process of renovating that building you see here burning to turn it into a place for wedding receptions. Last night, the two left the building around 7 o'clock. The fire started in the attic around an hour and a half later. No employees were at the building at the time of the fire. The roof is destroyed, and there is a lot of water damage.
In a KARK-4 News update, a water contract dispute over $7 million reaches new crossroads. Siemens Industry has filed a civil suit against the city of Monticello, arguing their company upheld their end of the bargain and shouldn't have to give money back. The city contracted Siemens to replace more than 4,300 water meters across town for new electronic monitoring meters. The water project failed to meet full expectations, and the city wants its money back. You can view the lawsuit on our website, arkansasmatters.com. A memorial service for Bill Valentine, the man known for being the longtime general manager for Arkansas Travelers. Bill Valentine's memorial service is set now for Thursday, April 30th at 10 a.m. at Dickey Stevens Park. It's open to the public. Circling back around now to one of our top stories, a shooting that happened earlier today around the same time as a shooting on Fillmore. Very busy afternoon. It was on the east side of the capital city, 1906 East Capitol Avenue, actually. That's where we find KARK-4's Leah Uko. And according to police, 2 people were shot there, Leah. What else we know?
Yeah, that's right, Bob. I was told 2 people were shot. One of them has been pronounced dead, a young black male in his late teens or early 20s. The other woman, also in her late teens or early 20s, is expected to survive. I'm told she was shot in the hip. Now, police here on the scene say this shooting happened around 4 o'clock in this parking lot behind me. They've got shell casings marked off here and other evidence as well. And neighbors tell me that this shooting, again, happened in the parking lot and traveled across the street. If you see that white Chevy Monte Carlo, I'm told that is the victim's car that crashed into that other car. Neighbors tell me they heard 5 to 6 gunshots when this happened, but nobody here says they saw what happened. And right at this time, police say they don't have any suspect information, but they hope to shortly to release to the public. Bob?
All right, Leah, thanks very much.
Well, a Bronze Star is a combat award for bravery and heroism under enemy fire. Now an Arkansas native is finally getting this award after years of waiting. We'll have that story for you a little bit later.
Take it off. I'll get him after. And we have been busy programming NOAA weather radios. We have members of the Arkansas Storm Team. I'm going to sit down. We have had a very busy afternoon here in Pine Bluff at the Walgreens on Dollar Way. We've got meteorologist Kira Miner and Fox 16 Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baskin here to help you get these new weather radios programmed. If you have an old one, bring it over. We'll try to program that as well. It's all part of the Arkansas Storm Team's commitment to bringing NOAA weather awareness into your living room. Hey, let's take a look at that high and low in Little Rock today. Started rather chill in the upper 40s, but made it into the upper 70s. If you like today, you want to stick around for that 7-day forecast. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
From the station that brings you local news that matters, this is KARK 4 News at 6 in high definition. With Bob Clausen, Ashley Katz, Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan, and Aaron Peters with your Razorback Nation report.